Minecraft Survival is a gaming experience like no other. The journey is different for each and every player. When you create a random Minecraft world, you're spawning in a world that likely no other Minecraft player has ever explored. A practically endless world with endless possibilities with limitless options. This is the beauty and appeal of Minecraft. The game has gotten hundreds of updates which have changed the survival experience drastically over the years. Exploits get patched and some features just become outdated. There are things you can do in vanilla survival in early versions of the game that you can't do in later versions, but you can bring some of those things into newer versions of Minecraft. Just because something may no longer be obtainable in survival mode doesn't mean it will disappear if you carry it over from an old version. I've done a lot of research into the history of Minecraft and found you could do some really wacky things within the confines of vanilla survival that you probably never realized. This video will be a guide on how you can utilize older versions to give yourself the most insane survival world in all of Minecraft. This video won't contain things such as generating old temples and villages because you can technically still build those in new versions if you really tried. Everything in this video is something to uniquely enhance your survival world by exploiting older versions. Keep in mind, you're going to want to go in order from the oldest version to the newest version to minimize the chance of world corruption. So we'll be starting all the way back in Alpha Minecraft. You can access most of these versions directly from the official Minecraft launcher. The first version you're going to want to start with is Alpha version 1.0.5. There's not really a lot to do here, but if you want the only chance in Minecraft history to get a stack of 64 snowballs, this is it. These will transfer into newer versions, but once you bring them into the new version, do not break the stack. You will not be able to combine them back in modern versions. Next up, you're going to want to go into Minecraft version beta 1.3. All you need to do in this version is craft wooden slabs. I know this sounds weird because wooden slabs have been in the game and have been craftable ever since their inception, but there's actually an important reason why you need to craft these slabs in beta 1.3 specifically. You see, there was a bug where wooden slabs actually functioned almost like stone slabs, meaning you had to mine them with a pickaxe and they didn't burn. They fixed this in a patch, but any wooden slabs crafted before this patch would still retain the properties of stone slabs, as they were technically different items. But now the old wooden slabs would no longer be craftable. These slabs are really cool because they're essentially fireproof wood, so definitely craft a few stacks of these before going into any future versions. Beyond 1.12, the old wooden slab was renamed to Petrified Oak Slab, giving a real official identity to this mutation of an item. I also wanted to add that if you begin your survival journey in this version, you'll strangely have a stack of 63 beds in your inventory, which is especially weird because beds weren't ever supposed to stack. The next version we're going to head into is beta 1.8. This is the update that drastically altered world generation, so if you want to generate more old chunks, then take a few extra minutes to explore your world now. Beta 1.8 is the first version of Minecraft to not generate far lands chunks. So if you want to generate these chunks, do it before upgrading to this version. Beware, this walk will probably take you years. If you really want to generate far lands chunks but don't want to waste years walking, travel to around 12.5 million blocks in a newer version of Minecraft using fast travel methods, and downgrade your world when you get close. Regardless of your method of choice, you'd have to be very committed in order to generate these chunks in vanilla survival. Similarly to Snowballs in Alpha version 1.0.5, Ender Pearls were stackable to 64 in Minecraft Beta version 1.8, so make sure to stop by this version to grab yourself a stack of 64 pearls. Next, head into Beta version 1.9 pre-release 3. In this version, there's two important things you're going to want to do. Firstly, you're going to want to find a stronghold, which is actually marked by two giant glass towers. This was to help the devs, but they forgot to take it out before making the version public. If you don't see one, head towards the coordinates 0, 0 because there's almost always a stronghold there in this version. Then find the portal room. The end portal frames do look weird in this version, but they'll start to look normal later. You can obtain these portals by using TNT, which is impossible in later versions. The portal frames will drop on the ground, then you can collect them to store away for later use. Careful though, when you place these blocks in newer versions, you won't be able to break them again. Don't leave this version yet though. While you're here, enchant a full set of armor and tools. You'll notice it just says Enchanted rather than giving you a specific enchantment. When you load up this armor in newer versions though, all the armors and tools will be enchanted with feather falling, an enchantment you shouldn't have anything on except your boots. And feather falling on any piece of armor will actually reduce fall damage, so it's actually kind of useful. Also, if you want to duplicate these items, there's a simple but infamous duping method that you can use. Simply drop the item you want to dupe, then save and quit your world, rejoin your world, then hit Alt F4 to force close your game. When you load up the game again and enter your world, you'll have successfully duped. Although you're technically not breaking the bounds of vanilla survival, this is a glitch, so if you don't want to cheat in your survival world, don't do this. Also, if you decide to begin a survival world in this version, you'll actually automatically receive 64 end portal frames and end portal blocks. Although the end portal blocks won't stay in your inventory or storage in modern versions, you could place them now and they will remain placed in new versions. We're going to stop in one more beta version before going into post-launch versions. Go into beta version 1.9 pre-release 4. In this version of Minecraft, you're actually able to mine and collect spawners with a Silk Touch diamond pickaxe. Hopefully you didn't break that silverfish spawner when you were getting those end portals. Silk Touch is very hard to get in this version though, so it'll probably take you a few hours to obtain it in survival mode. For the best possible chance of getting it, you should enchant your pickaxe to level 46. I would highly recommend setting up a mob grinder at a spawner to grind XP faster. No matter which spawner you mine and no matter which version you place it in, it will only spawn pigs though. You can hold and place these spawners in any version you'd like. But remember, beyond this version, Silk Touch will no longer allow you to collect spawners, so make sure you place it in a good spot. Do place them before 1.19.3 though, because that was the version where spawners would no longer default to pigs when placed. Any spawner placed after this version would simply be an empty cage, requiring an unobtainable spawn egg to make work. It's also possible to enchant a pickaxe in this version to have both Fortune and Silk Touch, which is impossible later. Next, collect some ice with your Silk Touch pickaxe, because the ability to collect ice with the Silk Touch pickaxe was removed shortly after. This was temporarily patched due to a bug that would allow you to spawn water into the Nether with ice. To do this, simply place a block of ice in the Nether and break it. They will turn into water source blocks that don't evaporate, so build farms, build a trident obstacle course, or whatever else you want in this version of Minecraft, because after this version, it won't work anymore. But the water you place will still stay there into modern versions. Next up, go into snapshot 12W21A. This snapshot introduces villager trading, and some of these trades were changed very quickly, so you'll want to get some villagers that offer these trades in this specific snapshot. The first one is one where villagers will trade an emerald for one written book. This still doesn't get removed until a 1.8 snapshot, but the other trade is a trade that is exclusive to the snapshot only. This trade is giving you emeralds in exchange for 2 to 3 eyes of Ender. It may not be the best deal, but it's still cool to have. The villager trades do not change even between versions. Just make sure you take great care of these guys because they're irreplaceable. The next version has some of the coolest potential items you can get, so you should definitely not skip this one. Go into snapshot 12W49A. What's special about this snapshot is that enchanted books were just added, and you can enchant any item with an enchanted book. Getting the books to this version is a hassle for sure. Villagers can trade enchanted books in the next snapshot 12W50A, but the ability to enchant any item was removed in that same snapshot. You may be able to trade for enchanted books in that version and even bring a villager that can trade enchanted books backwards to 12W49A, but beware the risk of world corruption. Definitely make a backup before you do this. It worked for me in testing though, so it should work for you. The ceiling is limitless for potential items that can really help you later in your Minecraft journey. So make a knockback stick, a water bucket that sets things on fire, and a redstone torch that can mine both wood and sand faster than most tools. And don't forget your Silk Touch cooked chicken. The beauty of enchanting items without a durability stat is that they will last forever, and these tools can be very beneficial to you. Items that stack to 64 can even be enchanted all at once with a single enchanted book and just a few levels. This next snapshot is going to be fairly short, and you can skip it if you don't care that much. But if you want stackable horse armor, you can't miss this. Horse armor, when first introduced, was stackable to 32. So if you have a stack of 32, you can transfer that stack into newer versions, similarly to ender pearls and snowballs. It's not as bad as it sounds to achieve 32 pieces of horse armor though, because it's actually craftable in this version. Next up, we're going to jump to Minecraft version 1.7. No snapshot, just the official version. There are actually 5 things you're going to want to do here. None of these things are exclusive to 1.7, but it's just nice to have a version accommodating to all of them. Just so you don't have to make many stops. All you need to do is enchant a fishing rod, then use said fishing rod to craft a carrot on a stick. The enchantments will carry over to the stick, giving you a soon-to-be unobtainable item. Neither of these enchantments will do anything, but it's yet another irreplaceable trophy. Next, you're going to want to put Silk Touch on your shears. If you still have your Silk Touch cooked chicken from before, you might not think this is necessary, but get it while you can. The benefit of Silk Touch shears is that later you'll be able to add unbreaking and mending to them, so it will essentially function as an unbreakable Silk Touch handy tool, while also being able to complete far more tasks than a generic item. Another cool little exploit this version has to offer is that you can place sand or gravel on a 2 tall block flower, break the bottom part, and the block will float there until a block update occurs. You can build some pretty cool stuff with this, so do it while you can. Next up, you're going to want to get some more farmer villagers, then get them to trade you shears and flint and steel, because these deals will no longer appear after version 1.8. Also, while you're here, grab a priest villager that you can buy the Eyes of Ender from. This is the one you got earlier that bought Eyes of Ender. This one sells them. If you get both villagers, you can have both sides of the deal, neither of which can appear in modern versions of Minecraft. The last thing you can do that will be your last chance to do is go to the world border and build something on the edge of the world. The world border will permanently shrink about 16 blocks in the 1.8 update, so if you build something on the edge of the world in 1.7, you will have a build outside of the world border. There's no elytras unfortunately, so you're gonna have to walk. If you do make this treacherous journey, travel in the Nether because it's 8 times faster. Snapshot 14W02A made some revamps to villager trading, and it contains one of the rarest villager deals you could receive in Minecraft history. It was reverted only one snapshot later. The deal was clerics being able to buy ender pearls from you. It's not the best trade offer, but if you can make an efficient enderman farm, you'll love this deal. But even if you don't like this deal, unlock it anyways, because you'll have a villager with one of the rarest trades in the game's history forever. This next task will involve the brand new 1.9 end. Head into snapshot 15W47C. To start, you're going to want to place end crystals as if you're respawning the dragon, but one of these you're going to want to place sort of inside the bedrock to glitch the end crystal in. Then begin summoning the dragon, but very quickly break one of the end crystals to interrupt it. If you did this right, you can go through the portal and there should be a piece of bedrock waiting for you. Wherever you decide to place it, make sure you want it there forever. There are methods of eliminating bedrock, but you're not going to get another piece without duping, so make this one count. The timing is quite precise, so it may take you a few tries. Getting all the materials for the end crystal is a grueling task, so you may want to practice this one in creative mode a few times. Alright, we're getting close to the end, but we have a couple more important things to do to get the ultimate impossible survival world. Join snapshot 19W14A. This is a snapshot that will allow you to collect some very rare things. Firstly, you'll want to trade with the Fletcher villagers to unlock the Arrow of Luck. It will appear as the final trade on a Fletcher villager, but it's a very rare trade to get, and this is the only way to ever obtain this item in survival mode, so make sure to keep the villagers safe when upgrading to future versions. For the last thing, you need to create the perfect armor by combining protections, something not possible in survival Minecraft up to or beyond this point. You have to be careful though. If you add random books to random pieces of armor willy-nilly, you'll likely see a too expensive message appear before you can get every enchantment equipped. You're going to want to combine some book enchantments together before applying them to armor. As an example, combine the specific books I have on screen in the exact order they're in. Then from left to right, enchant each one to your pair of boots. The only problem with this is that you won't be able to get your soul speed on your boots when you get to version 1.16. If you only care about the protection benefit and not having the perfect piece of armor though, you can actually just enchant all pieces with protection 4, then on each piece of armor, only enchant with one other type of protection, with feather falling 4 on the boots. This will actually give you the same level of protection as having armor with all 4 protections on every piece. So if you omit at least one of the other protections on your boots, you should have room for soul speed come 1.16, while being just as protected as anyone with the full god set. The final version you're going to want to join for an impossible survival world is snapshot 20W16A. In 20W16A, barrier blocks can naturally spawn in bastion remnants. These blocks are not in obvious places though. When they do appear, they'll be buried under a pit of lava. These blocks cannot naturally generate in any other version of Minecraft, so if you want a survival world that has them, make sure to generate some bastion remnants. So there you have it, a way to legally obtain end portals, bedrock, monster spawners, and so much more, all within the legitimate bounds of vanilla survival. If you really want to spice up your survival world, this guide should help you a lot. It will probably take you months to collect all these items legitimately, but trust me, the journey is worth it. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed, and subscribe while you're down there so you don't miss the next video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.